Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Good afternoon once again. As we approach 12:30, the news continues. Bill Bryant and Barbara Bailey reporting a feud between neighbors has taken another twist in a Lexington neighborhood.
Just weeks after police arrested 41-year-old Brian Judson for shooting up his neighbor's car, he was taken back to jail, now accused of threatening them. WKYT's Mark Barber has more in our top story at 12:30. Mark?
Police believe Brian Judson sat in his driveway here on Wilson Downing Road and acted like he had a gun to intimidate his neighbors from testifying against him. The arrest warrant says a married couple who lives on the 300 block of Wilson Downing Road called police Tuesday when they saw their neighbor staring at their home. Investigators say 41-year-old Brian Judson was sitting in his driveway, acting like he was armed with a gun. We're told the tension between the neighbors is not new. According to the arrest warrant, Judson has threatened to kill the couple before. Back on September 1st, police told us Judson fired several shots at their car when it was parked behind their house. We're told he was released from jail last week and was ordered to have no contact with his neighbors. The shooting case will go before a grand jury, and that's why police believe he was trying to keep his neighbors from testifying. Judson is now charged with intimidating a person in the legal process. Those who live nearby think it's gone too far. Janie Browning says she doesn't let her grandchildren walk to school anymore because she's worried about their safety.
It's just a very uneasy feeling for your grandchildren or your children growing up to have this going on.
Judson is scheduled to appear in court for an arraignment at 1 o'clock this afternoon. In Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Judson declined our request for a jail interview. He's being held under a $5,000 bond.
A Lexington father is in jail accused of abusing his newborn daughter. 27-year-old Darnell Tagolia is charged with criminal abuse. Lexington police say he intentionally shook his 4-month-old daughter because she was crying. Police say the infant suffered serious injuries and is still recovering in the hospital. Tagolia will be arraigned in district court in about a half hour. A Lexington man charged in a deadly attack is back in court today. Police say Corey Etherington used a hammer to kill 87-year-old John Tully. That happened back in July at an apartment complex on Appian Way. Investigators say the two men knew each other before the attack. A grand jury indicted Etherington for murder and evidence tampering. His arraignment in circuit court is underway right now.
Police say a Lexington woman is responsible for a string of neighborhood hit and runs. Around 5:30 this morning, officers found at least 7 vehicles damaged on Malibu Drive. One had a broken side view mirror. Many of the cars had tire damage. A woman who lives in the area tells us she woke up to the sound of grinding metal.
I'm like, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? And is he going to stick around? Apparently not.
Now, by the time officers arrived, the woman responsible was already home. They charged her with leaving the scene of an accident and driving without insurance.
A developing story in our nation's capital here at midday. U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder is resigning after heading up the Justice Department for 6 years. A White House official says President Obama will announce Holder's departure this afternoon. Holder is the first African-American U.S. Attorney General, and his tenure is the 4th longest on the job ever. He is planning to remain at the Justice Department until his successor is in place. The main suspect in the disappearance of a student at the University of Virginia has been arrested more than 1,300 miles from where he was last seen.
CBS's Craig Boswell has more details on the arrest of Jesse Matthew Jr. and the disappearance of Hannah Graham.
The suspect in the disappearance of a University of Virginia student made his first court appearance Thursday morning.
The underlying charge is abduction of a person with intent to defile.
A judge in Texas denied bail for Jesse Leroy Matthew Jr. This convenience store video captured Matthew buying supplies. He was later arrested on a Galveston Island beach. Matthew was the last known person to see Hannah Graham. She's been missing since September 13th, when witnesses say they saw her drinking with Matthew at a Charlottesville, Virginia bar. Jesse Matthew Sr. says the police have the wrong man.
To kill or hurt somebody, that's not my son.
Investigators from Charlottesville arrive in Texas today to question Matthew and try to find Graham. Police are still asking for the public's help as well.
This case is nowhere near over. we have a person in custody, but there's a long road ahead of us, and that long road includes finding Hannah Graham.
That's something the people in Graham's hometown of Alexandria, Virginia want as well.
Hannah, we love you so much. Please come home.
Craig Boswell, CBS News.
Now, the extradition process for Matthew has begun, meaning he could be in Charlottesville, Virginia, within the next 2 days.
For the first time in state history, unemployment rates are down in all 120 counties. The Workforce Development Cabinet tracked the decline from August of last year to August of this year. Owen, Simpson, and Woodford counties have the state's lowest jobless rate at 5.1% each. Fayette County is just behind at 5.3%. Magoffin County recorded the state's highest unemployment rate at 13.3%.
Well, it's estimated 500,000 Kentuckians suffer from migraines. For one Lexington woman, the headaches were so intense she was afraid to drive because she might pass out. A family member even had to move in to help take care of her.
I went to doctors and they were like, there's nothing wrong, and they would just like give me a pill and send me out the door. But, I knew there was something wrong, and I just had to get somewhere to get it fixed because, there was no way that this was normal.
And she was right. She finally found a solution, though. Tonight on WKYT News at 6, we'll take you to the headache clinic at the Kentucky Neuroscience Institute. You may be surprised by some of their treatments. And by the way, Tanya is headache-free now for 22 months, finally leading her normal life. And that's good to hear.
Yeah, it is.
Researchers at the University of Kentucky say people who complain of memory loss may be onto something.
Alfonso Van Marsh has that and more health news in this Better Living report.
Seniors who notice their memory slipping may be seeing early signs of dementia. Researchers at the University of Kentucky studied more than 500 seniors for more than a decade. They found that those who reported changes in their memory were almost 3 times more likely to develop memory and thinking problems down the road. 80% of those who developed dementia first complained of memory changes. British researchers say going up 1 skirt size every 10 years could make women more than 30% more likely to get breast cancer after menopause. The 5-year study on more than 90,000 women revealed those who grew in the waistline and went up 2 skirt sizes per decade had a 77% greater risk of breast cancer. And when it comes to treating teens for the eating disorder anorexia, family-based therapies are twice as effective as individual therapy. That's according to researchers at Stanford University. Their study, which looked at 164 teens, found that parents could learn to help their anorexic children get to a healthy weight and eat normally again. Alfonso Van Marsh, CBS News, New York.
All right, good to have you with us on WKYT News. And coming up, you know the lead singer from American Idol, EKU Center for the Arts, with a big announcement coming today.
Also, a mix of original music and strange comedy. We'll chat with comedian Haywood Banks.
And we're looking outside, a lot of blue skies. That's going to be the same story the next couple of days off towards your weekend. We got a little rain for the weekend, but about 80% of us is going to stay dry all weekend long. I'll show you that forecast coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris and First Alert Defender.
Check these temperatures out here as we approach the 1 o'clock hour, and they're already not warm, but they're getting warm. We're right there in the mid-70s across the Bluegrass region. Look at Harlan, 77 degrees. You guys will be just the same way for tomorrow for the kickoff of Coal Country Off-Road Festival there in Pineville. This is just to the south and southwest of you guys there in Bell County. So things look good for all these festivals, all the events going on. Look fantastic. And remember, you got the World Chicken Festival kicking off there in London in about 4 or 5 hours. So head down there and enjoy that as we head off toward the weekend. 70s out and about. We'll finish off in the upper 70s to lower 80s for a couple of regions. Yeah, this afternoon it's going to get warm for those areas. And look, I think most of us will stay there in the upper 70s today. Sprinkling out some lower 80s today, tomorrow, and I think most of us actually sit in the 80s for the weekend. And it looks like we're not going to expect any rain anytime soon. It's that warm air kind of creeping on in from the south and southwest. You can kind of see it bottled up over toward the western portion of this picture. And once it slides and moves eastbound, then you'll start to feel it get in the lower 80s. This is going to be for tomorrow. As you can see, a lot of that orange, which typically indicates a little bit warmer air, comes sliding on in. Anywhere from tomorrow, it's 78 to about 82 degrees. So it'll be a couple degrees warmer as we head toward the next 24 hours. UK football forecast. Let's go in towards Saturday. Looks really good. Mild there to kind of kick off the game. And honestly, look, we're going to be in the lower 80s for the day, which means kickoff 75, 69 there at second half. That's not that cool. I don't think you'll need a coat, maybe a long sleeve shirt just in case. But for the most part, it'll actually feel quite comfortable outside as you're watching the ball game. And as we kind of X out the 17 game in a row SEC skid, we're going to get rid of that. I'm guaranteeing a victory there on Saturday as we look to bring Vandy into town there Saturday evening. Now on Sunday, got a 40% chance of rain, but remember this, when you look at this graphic, PM, late rain, you're talking evening and night. During the daylight hours, I don't see much chance of rain. So really, daylight, all weekend long, you're good to go for all those festivals, events. Looks pretty good. It's just during that night, you'll start to see some rain move on in. And then that takes us into the start of the work week. So all in all, it's not a bad forecast. Taking us through the weekend, it just gets a little bit warmer. And it kind of stays that way as we head toward Monday, Tuesday, and off toward Wednesday, too. So we'll take it as it comes along, guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Micah. Having some fun because we're going to give a hint away here.
But
okay.
You don't have to be listening on your phone, though. You can enjoy in person.
All right. A popular rock band coming to the EKU Center for the Arts, and we're going to, there's going to be a chance for you to see them. We're going to find out right now.
Joel Alberts, Executive Director at the EKU Center for the Arts, is here with the big announcement. If Bill didn't steal your thunder.
Is that your ringtone, Bill?
Well, it was a good one, wasn't it?
Good idea.
Would you like that music? You're going to be hearing that at EKU.
You're going to be hearing that. We're going to have Daughtry coming to the EKU Center. The band's going to be there on Monday, November 10. Tickets go on sale to the general public this coming Monday at 9 o'clock, and it's just going to be a great time. Of course, a lot of people know Daughtry from his time at American Idol, but I mean, the band has 4 #1 hits, platinum band, Grammy nominations, a lot of American Music Award wins. Of course, he's got a great haircut. You know, he's got everything. It's all good to go. But we're really excited about the concert, and it's going to be a nice rockin' way to move our way into November.
And they put on a tremendous show. And, you know, really, Joel, there's such a variety of acts who come through the EKU Center over there. And like you said, that'll be one where people will be rocking and rolling.
You know, it's going to be, I tell you, for the ladies out there, it's a very handsome week because Daughtry on Monday, and then Josh Turner, the country singer, is going to be with us on Friday night. So really, there's no hope for the rest of us, I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's going to be hard to follow that week.
It will. It's going to be pretty great.
What are some of the other things you have on the radar?
Well, we've got a lot of great things. Next week, we've got 2 performances, Under the Street Lamp, which is the spin-off of the original Jersey Boys. Great, tight harmony. The 4 singers that were in that Broadway show have taken that Frankie Valli music, and they've incorporated a lot of the other doo-wop hits of that era, going all the way up through the Beach Boys and Beatles, and you know, it's just this really nice mix of all of those songs that had that nice harmony as a part of it. That's going to be next Thursday night, a week from today, and then a couple nights later we'll have the Taylor 2 Dance Company. This is the junior company of the Paul Taylor Dance Company out of New York. The great thing about them is that we're going to have them for 2 full days before. They're going to be doing workshops in Manchester and Corbin on Thursday. They've got a school matinee and some other education activities that they're doing down at EKU on Friday. And then we've got the public performance on Saturday night. So they're going to be able to interact with about 1,000 school kids before they get to the stage.
You have a fun job, don't you? Putting together these acts?
It's wonderful. I mean, these are, for people, I mean, you think about the things that bring you joy in life. It's going out and seeing programs. You know, that time that you got a sitter, you brought your family out, you can come see it. So whether you like country music, dance, you know, 50s era stuff, we got a little something for everybody.
Tickets available.
Tickets available.
What do people need to do?
We're even going to do a political debate over there, aren't we?
We're even going to do a debate. We've got, like we said, a little bit of something for everything. So, go to EKUcenter.com and you can get your tickets now.
That 6th
Check
District
out that
debate
lineup.
in October. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
A big exciting announcement there. Well, he's multi-talented, that's for sure, and you can enjoy the songer, comic, singer, poet, whatever you want to call him. He'll probably answer to it at Comedy Off Broadway.
It's Haywood Banks. He's in the studio next here on WKYT.
Hey, welcome back into WKYT in our noon news hour. All you have to say around here is that Haywood Banks is in the house.
Oh, yeah.
And you're in for a good time.
Fun.
The fun begins.
Haywood's performing tonight through Saturday at Comedy Off Broadway, but we're so glad to welcome you back. Glad to have you here.
Great to be here. Here, let me start with a little song here.
Oh, okay.
I prayed at the bed of my mother as she prayed for relief in vain. For the prayer lines that night were all jammed up tight. There was a game at old UK. The preacher, he came for a visit. She asked when her prayer would go through. He said, I wish you well, but you're SOL if there's a game at old UK. 60,000 fans are praying at the stadium. Millions more if the game's televised. If there's a ball in the air, your prayer ain't got a prayer when there's a game at old UK. If you pray for the end of world hunger or peace for mankind to begin, better first go online, check the dates and the times of the games at old UK. 60,000 fans are praying at the stadium. Millions more if the game's televised. If there's a ball in the air, your prayer ain't got a prayer when there's a game at old UK. The preacher said lay back and rest now, but Mama said I want to sit up and pray. He said just do it for me, your head's blocking the TV and there's a game at old UK. 60,000 fans are praying at the stadium. Millions more when the game's televised. When there's a ball in the air, your prayer ain't got a prayer when there's a game at old UK. Even the Pope gave up trying to get Jesus on the line when there's a game at old UK.
Well, you may have a hit on your hands.
Oh my heavens, I never knew you were a UK fan. That's a great thing. I love it.
All right, so you'll be playing the guitar, telling some jokes, having a great time out on the stage at Comedy Off Broadway.
Comedy Off Broadway.
All right.
You just travel around with the guitar, and when something hits you, you just start picking it up and
it's just,
coming up with your songs.
I just have, it's like I have a radar, and I'll hear something, like I wrote a song called Then They Had to Taser Her Again, where I just overheard some women talking, and just, stuff that you might hear.
It moves
normally,
you.
yeah, it's just like, oh, I can use that, it's like, just goes, I immediately write it down.
Well, I know a lot. I've heard a lot of your songs before. You are so funny.
Well, thank you so much.
It's really
Well, come ready to laugh if you make your way out to Comedy Off Broadway tonight. The first show at 7:15, then there are 2 shows Friday night and Saturday night. ComedyOffBroadway.com for more info and tickets. And thanks for coming.
I'll save a seat for you, Bill.
All right.
By the way, there is a game on Saturday.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, there
I should be there in center,
UK
right in the center.
versus Vandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you are. All right.
I'll be there at halftime.
Keep it here. The streak of fabulous weather is continuing.
Micah joins us next with the latest word on your forecast.
We get to say it again, another beautiful day.
Broken record forecast. We just continue to bring it to you day after day. 78 degrees the rest of the afternoon, even some kind of finishing off there around 80 degrees. And it looks like as we go into the evening, it's another mild evening. We get warmer and warmer, not just the afternoons, but we're talking overnights. And overnight lows right there in the 50s as opposed to the 40s. So things are getting better, and it looks like it's mostly dry throughout the next few days.
Sounds good. Our crews are busy. Our next newscast is coming up at 4 o'clock.
We hope you have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining us.